Well, welcome to Making Music, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, this is great. Today, I'm Gary Wineroth from Guitar Showcase, and I'm proud to have with me a dear old friend, John Tristao from Creedence Clearwater Revisited, from Daddy-O in the old days, from Coffee, from People, from Guitar Showcase. I mean,
all of it.
I mean, man, you know, you did leave a good job in the city. You know,
I did.
I don't understand why you left us. You know, I just, you know.
Well, I left it for a good job in the city.
Yeah, that's true. And over here, your partner over here, we got Steve Conrad from Music in Motion, and he's doing a show similar to ours down in San Luis Obispo, right, Steve?
That's right, San Luis Obispo.
Yeah,
with Shirley Getz.
Cool. And you guys have been playing together now for 3 minutes, right?
Yeah, just forever.
Yeah, all of you, you know.
That's right.
So I just learned his last name.
Yeah, really. It was Steve before that. So this is great. Well, we got a lot to talk about in a short time here. I mean, gosh, where do we start? I mean, you know.
What was that, 66?
Something like that. It was way back when all those Stratocasters we were selling new are now worth, you know, 20 or 30 grand, and they were $250 back then.
My God.
Yeah, so buy first, buy young, buy early, and keep them. So tell me, you got, what are you playing here? You got a Guild D55?
I got a Guild. You know, I'd always been a Martin man, and when I went into Showcase, I was looking through your guitar room there, acoustic room, came across the Guild, picked this one up, that's it, I'm hooked.
You're in love.
No more Martin, I hate to say. I'm a Guild man.
Well, what can we say? Oh, that's good. That's a cool guitar.
It's a wonderful guitar.
Yeah, that's nice. That's
great tone, even tone. You know, when you can hear every string, the same volume, and the same vibrance, it's fabulous.
That's great. You know, Fender bought Guild quite a few years ago, and then they tried making them in the old Guild factory back in Westerly, Rhode Island, and it didn't work too well. And then they moved them to Corona, and they did a few that were okay, but just on a custom basis. And then they bought Tacoma guitars and moved it up to Tacoma, Washington. That's kind of your neck of the woods.
Oh yeah. I live in Whidbey Island, north of Seattle.
All right, so it's right. So this is kind of your hometown.
Oh yeah, well, hey, they make their good stuff up there.
That's right. Guitars. It's all good guitars. So you and I were kind of the outlaws in the old days. I don't know, you know, we can't say a lot on television, but
you know, and of those days, I can't say much.
No,
if anything.
but we go back. We got a couple of still shots. If we can fly to the older shots first, I'd like to take a look at some of your old bands. Let's see, where'd you start with? Was it Coffee?
Very first band? No, my first band, a high school band, was The Chosen Few.
Oh, The Chosen Few. We didn't have a shot of that.
I don't have any pictures of. Okay. I went from The Chosen Few to Coffee.
Okay, this is Coffee.
That's Coffee.
And who's that guy with the glasses on? Is that you?
You know, my God, I wouldn't believe it, but yeah, it is.
That's you.
I actually did have hair. I can prove it.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I think I did too back then.
Yeah. I went from Coffee to People.
Okay, and then People is the next.
Was the
next shot. If we've got that one, that'll be cool. Now, you know, how many years between those two?
Oh, geez, you know, I was in Coffee, I guess about 3 years, and was recruited into People straight out of there.
Okay, so this is in the 60s?
I was in 68.
Now you were truly an outlaw.
I was.
Let's see, that's you with the Winchester down there on the ground?
That's me, and they no longer allow me to carry a gun.
Yeah, I can see why. You know, I understand that. But that's cool. I mean, that's a good thing. And then we started calling you Bongo.
And then we started calling me Bongo. I moved back to San Jose from L.A. Basically, I had it with the music business. Didn't want to play anymore. And then, of course, your brother and I, who's...
Daddy-O.
Right there standing, leaning against the...
Yeah, that's my brother Barry leaning on the hood, and that's you in the door with the cigarette.
That's me in the doorway there, and we decided we'd put this band together and just do 50s music and have a good time and nothing else. No hopes of making any money or even having any gigs. We just wanted to play, and it turned into huge.
Oh, it's still going?
It's still going.
It's still
to this
going.
day. Daddy-O is still together.
It's like the longest running band in history, I think, in the Bay Area.
I'm telling you.
It's got to be one of them anyway. I mean, that's amazing.
It became a theatrical act, actually.
It did.
We started doing the skits and the costume changes and started offending everybody, and people loved it.
Well, it was X-rated rock and roll back then.
It was, and we announced it that way, and you've been warned.
It's actually, yeah. And then you guys played the Gong Show.
We did the Gong Show.
And we can't do that on TV because that's a syndicated thing. You still get royalties over that.
Still get royalties. We did the Gong Show and won.
And won. So, a 10 straight across. Anybody wants to see that, they can go to YouTube And look, somebody posted it. Look at Daddy-O 1979 Gong Show, and they'll find you.
My God,
And that act is on there right now, which is totally cool. Well, now in the Daddy-O days, let's go back there for a second. My God, I mean, I remember playing back at Napperdack Hall and the What's It and all of those old teen clubs. Well, you did that with Coffee and Chosen Few and the People and all of those too back in those old days.
Yeah, all the teen clubs, and I mean, those were the gigs. There weren't bars, and those things weren't available to us.
Well, you were a little young for a bar.
Well,
just a kid.
a little young, but I still managed to get around.
Yeah, you did. So the X-rated rock and roll stuff, you guys were actually. It wasn't really X-rated. I mean, you kept most of your clothes on and everything, but it was.
Well, yeah.
It was a wild. It was almost a vaudeville. It was almost a reincarnation of vaudeville the way you guys did it. I mean, you had skits and acts. And, and they still do that a little bit, but I mean, very tame by comparison.
Yeah, this was hardcore. This was split second changes, characters changing personalities from one to another, and wigs and coats and everything that you had. You had to have the whole. We didn't cut any corners. We had the whole gamut. Oh my God!
This is a shot of you as
There's Bongo.
Yeah, you look a lot like Barry there, actually.
You guys, minus the chicken.
Yeah, you didn't have the chicken. Yeah, that's another thing. We won't talk about that chicken. I don't want to go there. That old chicken, and then it's amazing. You've gone, forward from there, and we've got some video footage here of. You had an acting career. A lot of people don't know that. I mean, you've always been an actor, but I mean, you actually got paid for it.
I did.
You did a lot of these commercials for the Sayufi theaters, the Century theaters around here in the Bay, and that was syndicated all over.
That was all. Yeah, that wasn't a Sayufi specific project, but they were our biggest customer, and they had the most screens. And but yeah, we had them all over the world. In fact.
Yeah, those were big. Yeah. And there's only one. We've got some footage of it. I'd like to see it. The no smoking thing. That was back when a lot of people don't understand. There was still smoking allowed in a lot of places.
And airplanes, buses, theaters,
bars, theaters, everything. Anywhere. And they had to get the point across. Let's watch that one because there was a very graphic that they got.
And don't forget.
Oh, word out. What a jerk. Get it out.
I think that got the point across, didn't it? Well, that was the transition era. That was when, they just had to do what they had to do, and so they got.
You couldn't see the screen through the smoke.
I know.
It was like a cloudy day in there.
Yeah, but that was fun. You could send a paper airplane out, and you could see it in the smoke, and I throw the popcorn, and the whole bit, so that was kind of fun. So, I know we're going to get in trouble here, but so if we go forward a little bit after Daddy-O, tell me. I mean, and that was old '50s rock and roll.
Yeah,
we did all of that stuff, and
it was. I had pretty much had it. I had retired again from music. I moved up north of Seattle and wanted to raise my kids in a country setting.
Right,
was the purpose there, and I had bought a gift shop and deli. Kind of a thing, and I was doing that and found out that I hated making sandwiches.
Yeah.
And then I get this call from Stu Cook, bass player of Creedence Clearwater Revival, saying they were putting the band back together and needed a singer.
Getting the band back together.
Well, yeah, getting the band, and the minute he calls me, I'm thinking, oh my God, what could I possibly done to this guy? What's he want? I couldn't owe him any money.
He didn't know his wife,
And so wow. So I sent him a tape, and here I am. It was that simple.
You've always sounded like Fogerty. I mean, So
I
think you do a better job than he does. I mean,
I had the waff.
You do.
I don't want to go there.
It's a natural thing. Well, we just heard it. It's great. I mean, you guys. You were singing in the back room there for a second while you tuned your guitar, and it sounded like I was listening to the record.
Wow. Well, thank you. I'm flattered.
It's great. It's absolutely great.
It's a dream gig. I mean, come on. Who wouldn't want to? Sing for Creedence.
Yeah, but not too many people can. I don't know where you get that range.
That's a tough one.
It is. I mean, you've always had that voice where you could go down low or up high. And Daddy-O, you and Barry sang some of those like Angel Baby and some of those girl parts. How you did that,
Top to bottom.
Yeah.
We covered all the gamut.
That's a lot of range, man. I don't know. I still don't know how you
Back
did
then it was youth. Now I have no idea where I get it.
Yeah. Well, it's just Practice.
Yeah, I guess.
Practice makes perfect. You know, you keep your chops up and you go.
I do, and you know, they don't cut us any slack. We do 100 dates a year, and all over the world. Been around the world 7 times.
Wow.
It's amazing.
So you're living a good straight life just to stay awake during these gigs.
We did the double album. We've got a double album out, live CD called Recollection, which is all the hits, the original hits Creedence done live. Because there's a lot of people that never got to hear Creedence live.
Yeah. So
so we did that, and by God, it's just as of the showing of this show, it has become platinum.
Really? Excellent.
So I mean, you know, a platinum album with Creedence, it's done all right.
Yeah, I think you've done good, boy.
Done good, boy.
That's right. I'm proud of you. I really am.
And I haven't been shot. So.
No, yeah, which is important in this business, especially knowing your
Especially
past.
for me. Oh yeah.
Hey, geez, it could have happened. You know, I mean, this is great. I love it. You know, so Creedence now, you're virtually a road warrior again. But I mean, are they letting you have some time off? Well, you've been here for a couple days. You've been in Guitar Showcase twice in the last 2 days. That's a record.
Yeah. For me, 2 days in a row.
Yeah,
That's amazing. But you know, I was born and raised in San Jose, so
this is your turf.
It's coming home.
Yeah.
It's coming home for me.
And you just discovered Sam's Barbecue, which has got to be the best in the world.
So I'll be spending some more time here.
Yeah, isn't that great?
Oh yeah.
I love those ribs.
Incredible.
So anyway, we've got some footage. Let's see of you playing at where? That's that Villa del
It's Viña del Mar in Chile.
Chile.
And it was one of their biggest events. And forgive me down there if you're listening, but it was one of their biggest events ever. And they presented us with a Lifetime Achievement Award and several things. It was a huge production. Yeah.
Killer.
40,000 people there.
That's amazing.
It was a hell of a concert.
It's like the Beatles playing somewhere. I mean,
It was large.
That's huge. We've got a little footage of that concert, and let's look at that real quick if we can. That's amazing. Oh, look at we got lights, we got sound, we got action. That's beautiful. right. Well, that looked great.
Yeah,
And
not bad.
No, not bad for an old boy, huh?
You know, hey.
Playing a telly, thin line, I see in there.
Oh, I'm a Fender man. Like I
see-
said,
I see
I'm
Fender.
dedicated.
Fender, you are. I know. That looks good.
Yeah.
Yeah, in honor of that, I wore mine too. So,
Well, see?
Yeah.
See how you are?
I know, I am. I am. You know, we recently had some bad news from Fender. You know, Bill Schultz passed away.
Oh, yeah.
Recently.
Yeah, terrible loss.
A huge loss to the industry. You know, and we just did some shows on Fender here not too long ago, and he was a dear friend of mine and of the other guys at Fender, and I know everybody who knows, you know, anything
course.
about music knows Bill, and really sad to see that happen. That's the end of an era.
Yeah,
That
it sure
guy
is.
was
And he saved it.
he
Yeah,
did.
he
He
did.
saved
He
Fender,
saved
and
it.
he was the patriarch of the industry. You know?
Yeah.
I love that guy. But anyway, on a positive note, you're a Fender man, and I see you are too. So,
Yeah,
you know,
I'm
what
a
are you
Fender man.
playing there?
I'm playing like a reissue early '60s thin line Telecaster. It's really a fine instrument. Yeah, it's
that
just
thing
like the
sounded-
real deal.
It sounded great. That's very similar to what you were playing on stage.
I use a Fender thin line with 2 humbuckers on it
Yeah,
on stage.
yeah.
You know, it used to be the standard was trying to copy the original instruments, you know, in which Tom Fogerty used a Guild on those rhythm.
Did he?
But you know, they in those days they were basically a stick with strings on them.
Yeah.
As we're today, they got to be roadworthy. They got to stay in tune. They got to be good looking. They got to sound right. Fender's the only one that's really getting the whole gamut.
For you, it's
You
Fender.
gotta have a Fender. If you're a road dog, you need a Fender.
Yeah, I mean, it's worked for me for 40 years or so.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you
Oh,
know,
yeah.
I mean, I think a lot of us that have been in it for a long time. You know,
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
it's amazing, but that's great. So now you've gone from Creedence to kind of, I know you're a road warrior yourself. You ride a motorcycle. You
Oh,
know,
yeah.
And you Harley, you've done that for 30 years or so.
Oh,
right?
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So you're a riding guy, and I used to ride my old Indian in the old days,
Yeah.
and you'd tell me, "Don't get killed, boy." But now you're the ones doing it.
Oh,
And I'm
yeah.
telling you the same thing.
No, I ride safe. I'm not a speed demon. I
Okay.
ride those big safe Harleys.
Yeah, big safe Harley.
Oh, yeah.
That's right. And so Johnny Bulldog is the new term. This is a group that you're doing on the side.
Yeah, that's my original project. I of course am still with Creedence, and I'm going down with the ship. So as long as that's together, I'll be with them. But I've also got my original music and my own band, which is called Johnny Bulldog, as my name is the Bulldog. So,
Right. Yeah. So
just continuing on, trying to keep my legacy going.
right, which is cool because it was really in the old days. It was about you, because I called you the butcher, and here's the Johnny Bulldog. Feed the need, right? And this is Johnny Bulldog Tristao. Okay, there it is. We called you the butcher because every time you'd have a gig, you'd come running into Guitar Showcase and say, "Gary, I need a guitar." And I'd say, we'd start hiding all the good stuff. Because, it was an action band, I mean, he did splits and backflips and everything with the guitar strapped on, and some of them didn't survive too well.
When it came back, it was kindling.
Oh, geez. Well, it was the first relics, really, the ones that Murphy had nothing on you.
I'm responsible for the first Fender relic.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's right,
absolutely.
I could
Because
tear them up like that in
you
one
take
night.
a brand new Strat and make it look like a Rory Gallagher or a Stevie Ray Vaughan just right now. One gig was all it took. I mean, it was amazing, and we were all through. And then you went into Daddy-O and you were called Bongo, and now you're Bulldog.
And that came from my wife. She, of course, calls me the Bulldog.
Yeah.
So.
Geez, I wonder where she got that. I mean, I can't.
I don't know. I don't know.
Oh, where do these women get these? I love that. So tell me about this group that you're, this little something that you got going. We got about 5 minutes left, and I know you guys want to end with a tune. So let's give me just a couple of minute shot on that.
The basic thing, the reason that I did the solo project was, as a motorcycle enthusiast, I wanted to do something that was about my passion. So my songs are basically about motorcycles and that world, and that's the world that I play in. That's where I have my fun. And there we go. There's a piece of my DVD.
There's a piece of that DVD, which is very cool. So we're still up. Tell me about this.
That's just a soft tail there. I had an opportunity to ride several bikes on there. I had a 65 Panhead, perfect shape. I had that soft tail there, and I've also got I guess you would call it an endorsement with Titan Motorcycles. Don Proudfoot, who owns Titan, is a very close friend, and he provides me with a motorcycle wherever I am, and there's a Titan, he'll give it to me.
You get to ride, huh?
Well, the good news is I own one, but didn't have to pay for it.
Well, that's
Because
good.
wherever I am, he gives me one, and Don's been great to me, and
So you put most of this music to the,
yeah, I'm
To
just
the Harleys
basically
and-
writing about my passion.
yeah, which is cool. You know, it's neat that you've been able to do that all these years.
You know, I'm very fortunate to be able to do anything in music and be paid
Oh, yeah,
for it. At my
absolutely.
age is
Yeah.
a blessing.
Yeah,
You know,
it
truly.
is.
And
Look at that.
you know, there are no 57-year-old rock stars, so
Yeah.
for me to be able to still be
Well,
out
there
there
is.
doing
You're
it,
one of
well, thank you.
Yeah, that's great. I
But
think it's
I've
neat.
got a great band. These guys are good friends. We all live close together, and
Okay. Well, let's.
it's a wonderful thing.
I love it. I love it. And I got to thank you guys for being here today. I mean, it goes so fast. And let's end with a tune. Just
We'll
tell
do a
them what
tune
you
off the first CD. My first CD was called Big Hat, No Cattle.
I can associate with that sometimes.
Yeah, this one's called How Else. It's just about how do you find out what's next.
All right. Let's
That's
hear
the
it.
deal.
Okay.